Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Hi, I'm Sam.
My name's Ashley.
Have you ever really gotten to know the staff here at Altaloma? Well, Ashley and I decided that now that we're about to graduate, it's time to get to know the people we spent 4 years with.
In this video, Sam and I are going to go around interviewing the teachers and administration that we spent many of our high
For
school
our first guest, we have Mr. Kaler with Ashley.
Hi, Mr. Kaler.
Hi.
So our first question is, what college or colleges did you attend?
So I attended Chaffey College along with Azusa Pacific University.
And then how did you feel when you found out you were the new principal?
I was very excited. I'm very enthusiastic. I love Altaloma. I've been here for 2 years now and I fell in love with it right away. So it's an easy school to like. It's a great opportunity for me to be able to support what I believe in, which is students learning and students having an opportunity to excel in academics. I love our staff. I love the community. So I feel very blessed and honored to be the new principal.
What is one thing you're looking forward to while being principal?
So one of the things I'm looking forward to do is really embarking in the new stadium and helping build culture in that stadium. And what does this mean for our school and getting more people to games, parents, students, the community, because Altaloma for 53 years we've never had our own stadium, and so now we will finally have our own stadium.
And what is your favorite sports team?
Ooh, do I have to answer this one?
You don't have to, either one.
So I really like a lot of sports, I really, really do. But growing up I was always a soccer player, so I have to say I like soccer and baseball and softball.
Okay, and then what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, Rocky Road, all the way.
And your favorite book?
So I have a few favorite books. So I do have little kids. I have 3 boys, and so we often read kids' books. So my number 1 favorite book is actually The Giving Tree, which I have up there. And I read it to my kids often to remind them that in life we should never stop giving and not to expect things from people, but no matter where you are, to give to others, because then you do receive some greatness back. But when we're talking about big kid books, I really like leadership books. I like a lot of books by John Maxwell. Another book that I absolutely love is Good to Great, because it inspires me to continually push and do my very best.
And how long have you been an administrator?
I have been an administrator for 8 years.
What did you do before?
So I was a teacher, a classroom teacher. I was an activities director, I was an athletic director, and then I became an assistant principal, and now soon to be a principal.
And the last question, what is the craziest thing you've seen on campus?
The craziest thing I've seen on campus?
Like something the students did, or...
On our campus.
Grab your flowers.
I would say that the craziest thing...
Grab your flowers.
One of the funniest things I saw was like the pool party last year when Cronin's like on his longboard, paddleboarding across the school pool, and all the freshmen jumping in for the freshman link pool party. That was a lot of fun. That was pretty crazy.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next guest is someone who's very close to all of our hearts, Mr. Summers. Okay. Hi, Mr. Summers.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and you can answer them or you can choose not to. What colleges did you attend?
Pasadena City College, Fullerton, UCLA. Got my degree at Cal State Long Beach in speech communications, and my master's in organizational leadership at Point Loma.
Okay. Did you always want to be a teacher?
No.
What did you want to be before?
Stand-up comedian.
Oh. Did you get anywhere with that?
I did. I had lined up the improv in 3rd Street Promenade, but when you have kids, you have to give up those roles and they don't pay money.
Okay. How long have you been teaching?
21 years.
21 years?
Yeah, I started in Pasadena for 7 years at my alma mater, John Muir, the Mustangs. Then a year at Montclair, and then the rest have been here at Altaloma.
Okay. What's your favorite book?
I have too many books. That's probably not a good one for this one.
Okay. If you had $1 million, how would you spend it?
Well, I would take care of my kids' college stuff first. Then I'd probably take a few trips. But most of it I would be pretty conservative with, because you know me, I'm pretty conservative.
Yeah. What's the hardest thing you've accomplished?
I've been married for over 25 years. How about that?
What's something about you that most of us would never know?
I have 3 eyes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't imagine. Probably the stand-up stuff.
Okay.
Maybe that I worked for the Dodgers for 5 years, sitting behind Vince Scully, doing all the stats.
That's cool.
Yeah, the pregame and the postgame.
What would be the toughest thing for you to give up?
Chocolate.
Me too.
Yeah. Are you kidding? I'm not giving it up. Even if it's unhealthy, I'm not giving it up.
Okay, what's your biggest regret?
Probably, well, again, when you have kids, you have to make sacrifices. But not being able to keep the Dodger gig is a big blow. My son says he would have chosen that over kids all the time. He said, I would have understood. So that was a tough one to let go.
Okay, and what's your biggest fear?
I don't really fear anything.
You don't fear white
No.
sometimes?
No.
What is the craziest thing you've encountered on Atslamo's campus?
Oh, there have been some crazy kids on campus. Lots of pranks. Luckily, none of them have been aimed directly at me. So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff. I probably don't want to give you guys ideas.
What's your greatest accomplishment?
25 years of marriage.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
What's your favorite ice cream?
I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh.
So ice cream is out.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah.
And if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I'm going to Fiji or the Maldives. I like the tropics. I plan on doing lots of vacations in the tropics. Yeah, that's where you'll find me in about 15 years.
Nice. Okay, well, that's it for our questions. Thank
All
you
right.
for being part of our interview.
Sure. Thanks for being part of my class. Bye, everybody.
Next up is Ashley with the one and only Kimbo.
Hi, Kimbo.
How are you, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you? The first question is, what college or colleges did you attend?
I attended the University of Laverne, where I obtained my Bachelor's of Art in Social Science, and then I got my Master's in Education.
Did you always want to be a teacher?
No, I changed my major about 3 times, actually, before I became a teacher.
What inspired you to become a master teacher?
Originally, to be a coach, you had to sort of stay with the educational field, so that's originally why I did it, was to stay in coaching.
And what's your favorite part of history?
Favorite part of history is anything to do in the second semester, which is the 20th century.
And who's your favorite football team?
Favorite football team for college, it would be the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and for the NFL, it would be the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry.
What's your biggest accomplishment?
Biggest accomplishment would be my family, my wife and my 2 children.
And what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? I don't fear anything.
And who was your role model as a child?
My dad.
Were you a bad kid or a good kid as a child?
I'm gonna go ahead and let my parents answer that one. You have to interview them.
What was your favorite subject in school?
History.
And what do you miss most about high school?
The sports and hanging out with your friends, because you, trust me on this one, you will not talk to hardly anybody 20 years past your high school.
Is there a different grade you'd rather teach other than high school?
No, I like juniors. Juniors is what I like teaching.
And then, what is the craziest thing you've seen on a phone?
Oh, that list is long. I don't quite know. I don't have a story offhand, so I don't think I have a craziest moment. There's too many to mention.
Alright, well that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash.
Up next, Sam will be interviewing Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Hi. All right. So, for starters, I was wondering how did you start working here at Aslamo? Okay. Well, I started doing noon aids in an elementary school, and after that, I have a friend who was working at junior high school, in fact, at the CMS, and she told me that she needed somebody to sub. And I told her, no, I'm working with elementary kids. I don't want to work with high school kids. She goes, no, you got to come experience it. Okay, well. So I went with her. And I loved it. I only did 3 hours there. So I did 3 hours there for 5 years at CMS. And then finally I came over here for a visit because I thought, oh, my kids are graduating from 8th grade to go to 9th. I'm going to come up here and see how I can get in. So that day I met Cheryl Fish. She's my cousin. And Cheryl directed me to go to the district to sub as a sub person. So I started doing that, and then a year later I landed here at Aslamo, which I love. So how long have you been working here at Aslamo? I've been working here for 27 years. And then 5 years at the district, I've been doing this job for 32 years. Right. What was your favorite subject in school? My favorite subject in school would have been drama, because you get to portray different characters, and it was an awesome experience, and it taught me to be able to speak to people, and give them skills in that area. And so outside of working here at Aslamo, what do you do for your free time? Free time? Well, I just recently learned how to wakeboard, so I like to go to the river and wakeboard there, and I also do roller derby. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's very competitive. It's with other girls on the team, and my family, it's a traditional thing. My family has been in roller derby since I was like 12. No, actually since I was like 8 years old. So that's what I do. I teach girls how to skate, and I also compete. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay, so for the last question, what is the craziest thing you've seen on campus? Okay, I wouldn't talk about anything, but this had to do with adults. One day it was raining, and we had a student, a senior boy, bring one of his classic power cars, and he parked it all the way on the north side. So I was doing a perimeter check, and all of a sudden I see somebody in the vehicle, and I recognized that it was him. And so it was raining, so he didn't see me, and I kind of approached the vehicle, and I noticed that he had a screwdriver, and he was trying to break into the gears. And I seen him, and he seen me, and I go, hey, what are you doing? And then he kind of got excited, and he pushed open the door, and while I'm pushing door back, trying to keep him in, and probably persistent, and he was stronger than I am. So he pushed the door, and I kind of fell, and I didn't fall back, but I kind of went back a little bit. He started running down the parking lot. I started running after him, and as I'm running, he takes off, and he gets in the car that was waiting for him on the south side of the parking lot. But as he was running, he dropped the information. So guess what? He had his address and all his information. He ended up getting him out of home. That's crazy. I know. That was the craziest thing that I know. Alrighty, well, that's all. So thank you, Debbie. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Next, we have Mr. Philosophy, also known as.
Hi, Mr. McBride.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Just have some questions for you.
Okay.
What colleges did you attend?
I actually only attended one college, but I got 2 degrees. I grew up just outside of Youngstown, Ohio, and I went to the local university, Youngstown State, the old Penguins, and I earned my bachelor's in English after majoring in political science and then kind of philosophy. I ended up with my minor in political science, missed a minor by 1 class in philosophy, which looking back I regret, staying school kids. And then I earned my master's also because I got a job teaching at the school. So I was working limited service and earned my master's in English, also from Youngstown State.
Next. Did you always want to be a teacher?
No.
What did you want
I'm
to
still not sure what I want to be when I grow up. First grade, when the teacher went around the room, I said a professional football player. By the time I was 10, I couldn't play football because of kidney issues. I was very good at baseball, but I had a heart problem that took me out of the baseball realm, and I didn't know what I would do. I thought about broadcasting at one point, mostly because my brother did it at his college. And when I went to junior year of my undergrad, I said I should probably decide what I want to do. And I loved philosophy, but it's a very, very academic life, which I enjoy, but there's also limited career opportunities. I was raised to be practical, so because I loved reading and writing, I figured that English was the way to go. My original plan was to get a PhD and teach at college, but then I met my lovely bride-to-be and decided I liked her more. So I ended up getting my certification after teaching 5 years in college and came here, flew out here from Ohio to Altaloma in 1999. The rest is history.
So how long have you been teaching?
If you include teaching limited service at college, I did that for 5 years. So from 94 to 99, you do the math for me. I started here in August of 1999. So if I'm doing the math correctly, that's about 5 plus 17, so 22. Wow.
What's your favorite book?
Infinite Jest.
Why?
Because it is, and here's the thing, I've never been a person who can say this is my favorite. My wife laughs, I will say that's in my top 10, and she will always say, your top 10 has at least 100 things in it, be it songs, books, movies, TV shows, whatever. My favorite authors before that were Milan Kunderas' Unbearable Lightness of Being was probably my favorite book before. Don DeLillo's White Noise is the first book that made me say, wow, I like that, and I was 20 at that time. And then after years of reading Zadie Smith and Bell Hooks and many authors, I read Infinite Jest and it just tore my head off. It was funny as could be, it was thoughtful, insightful, philosophical, insane. I couldn't understand half of it, and it was just, I thought, the greatest experience I've had reading a book. There's a copy at the library.
What's in your top 10 food?
We eat way too many burgers in my house. I would like to be a vegetarian, but I really like meat. So morally, I wouldn't kill an animal, but I have no problem eating them. Chicken wings done with very, very hot sauce is 1 or 1A, and the other one is burgers. And if I can give a shout out to Grill 'Em All in Alhambra, it's the greatest. It's a heavy metal burger joint. Best burgers in the world. So probably burger and chicken wings. Sorry, vegetarian friends.
What was your favorite memory about college?
If I say I don't have any memories of college, that'll sound bad, right? The best part to me about college is meeting people. I grew up in a small town. I knew people in a small town. I met people who were different race, different creed, different color, different nationality, spoke different languages, people I had never met, and I hung out with them for 9 or 10 weeks. And before cell phones, we'd meet these people, they'd be my best friends for 9 or 10 weeks, we'd get through this together, then I might never see them again. So it was weird that I don't have the lasting relationships that many of you will have, but just sitting around at lunch or dinner, eating chicken wings, talking about everything was my favorite part.
What's your biggest fear?
Sounds like an ambush question. I used to say I don't want to die, but I'm afraid of getting old. I think my greatest fear, really, outside of my children being harmed, obviously, and I guess I should put my wife in there too. But as a protected person, children and their safety is my priority. But there's a thing called locked-in syndrome. You ever heard of this? Where your whole body, you cannot move, but your mind is 100% active. There's a book titled The Diving Bell and the Butterfly that discusses it. And I would think that would be maybe the worst thing that could occur. Your mind is absolutely active and you cannot move any part of your body. I guess that would be it. That's dark. What else?
What's something you miss about high school?
I'm still in high school. Is anybody gonna see this? Because I did not like high school. I was a good student. I was an honor student. I got all A's. I was the #1 ranked male in my class. I was voted most intelligent, but I did it because I was supposed to do it. Probably, and playing basketball and baseball was great. Obviously, you know, we weren't too stupid, but you know, the hanging out with friends on Friday nights. If we're talking in class, the class I took in philosophy is the one class I remember caring about. Professor Ray and Shelley had a class, half a year of philosophy and half a year of art. And I remember stuff from that and I actually paid attention.
Okay, what's your favorite part about being a high school teacher?
This kind of stuff right here.
Okay.
This, you know, it's easy to sit back. I complain sometimes. And I had a student say, why, if you've been angry at teenagers, why are you a teacher? And I said, you guys are supposed to be like this. You're full of life, you're energetic, you don't care about the subject matter, okay? When people get to be my age and act that way, it's just really depressing. But getting to know people, and having a little hope for the future because teaching AP classes with a bunch of smart kids who think about stuff. And what I always say, I'm a really good college teacher and a pretty good high school teacher. I think I'm a good high school teacher, but I'll say it. I'm not a good babysitter. And, but when it comes down to it, hearing what 16 or 17-year-old kids usually have to say about big issues, it kind of gives me a hope for the future. So narcissistically, it helps me think about the future.
And one more question. What is the craziest thing you've seen on Oklahoma's campus?
Wow. It'd have to be one of the senior pranks, but I can't advertise anything. I will say this, I didn't see it on the internet. There's video of me, if you can find it. It was pre-YouTube. There's video of me singing Love Shack on the quad. We did, they called it Oklahoma Idol, and I won or lost, depending on how you look at it. So if you can find it, it's probably about 2002. Young me singing Love Shack with the B-52s. That might be it.
Well, thanks for being part of
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
For our next guest, we have Mr. Coots. Okay, hi, Mr. Coots.
Hello.
Okay, so for the first question, what colleges did you attend?
I attended UCLA for my undergraduate degree, and then I attended Cal Poly to get my teaching credential.
Did you always want to be a teacher?
No.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 4th year.
Okay, do you like physics or chemistry more?
I'm enjoying chemistry, or physics a lot more. I started off in just teaching chemistry and enjoyed it. It was something I'm more used to, but the more I get into physics, the more I'm enjoying it a lot more.
What's your favorite thing about physics?
Just the experiments that we can do. Chemistry, it feels a lot of times like all you can do is look at a well dish and see some small little reaction. Here we can actually take you guys outside. It's like, okay, we're gonna drop this off a 2-story building. Like, why? Gravity. We're gonna test it.
Who was your biggest inspiration?
Probably my 2 science teachers in high school, Miss Fred and Mr. Shannon. They were physics and chemistry teachers that got me to actually enjoy science a lot more than before.
Okay, what was your favorite thing about college?
Just the whole experience. It was, I guess, kind of a camaraderie that happened because I got my degree in engineering, and we came in knowing that we were just doomed, and so we bonded together and to survive it and kind of make it through, and it made it a lot more enjoyable experience.
What is one thing you miss most about high school?
I'm marching band.
Okay, what is your biggest regret?
I try not to remember those, though.
Okay, what is an incident that happened in one of your classes? Like, something that ended poorly.
Well, I did have one student that I put a bottle of acid down to go deal with another situation. He decided to open it and sniff it directly. He blew out this plume of smoke and decided to drill on himself the rest of the day. And I, being the good teacher I was, I turned, looked at the rest of the class, like, this is why we walk things, Phil.
And then what is the craziest thing you've seen here at school? There's something you probably wouldn't see at school.
Nothing, this is tame. Craziest thing? I haven't really seen much. It's just sometimes some of the questions that you guys ask me, I shake my head going like, no.
Okay, well, that's it. Next, let's pick Mr. Olson's brain. Hi, Mr. Olson.
Hello.
Okay, our first question is, what college did you attend?
I started at UC Riverside, and then I moved to Santa Barbara. I went to Santa Barbara City College, and then I graduated at Cal Poly Pomona.
Did you always want to become a teacher?
No, I wasn't sure. I left it open. In college, I decided in college after a while. I got my degree in psychology, and I worked in mental health a little bit, but I started substitute teaching and really began to like it.
How long have you been teaching?
15 years, I believe.
What's your favorite part about psychology?
The subject of psychology or the class?
Both.
Well, the subject is I like behavior. I find interesting behavior, strange behavior. I find that fascinating. The class, I enjoy the class because I'm allowed some autonomy. I get to teach the way I want to. I get to explore different things, and I find team behavior especially interesting.
What's your favorite experiment that's ever been conducted?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's probably one we can't do anymore because of, I don't know. Let's see. That's a good question. I like some of the social experiments, like the experiments on conformity, like where people enter an elevator and turn against the wall instead of the door, and see if people that subsequently come into the elevator will turn with them. Things like that, social experiments.
What is your favorite thing about Altola?
Oh, you know, this is the town I grew up in. This is my, this is the culture that I want to be a part of. I like Southern California and the weather and the ability to go to the mountains or the beach or the desert or those kinds of things. But in particular, Altaloma has a lot of history, and you know, I think a lot of camaraderie, and you know, this is where my friends are, and this is where I grew up.
And if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Well, my wife likes the beach, and I like to golf, so it's probably going to be a beachy golf place. I don't know. Maybe we'll get out to some resorts that have both the sun and sand and golf.
And what is your favorite book?
No, that's a good one. When I was little, I really liked the Phantom 12 book. It was like the first book I really believed was literature. It was like in 4th or 5th grade. But I like lots of them. Huckleberry Finn was a changing book in my life too. So oftentimes the books that kind of enlightened me to what literature and art could be.
And the last question, what's the craziest thing you've seen on campus?
My freshman year, I walked into the quad, and a senior prank, they had stacked all the chairs into this incredible, about 40, chairs and tables. At the time, they weren't bolted down, and there was like 30 of these tables stacked up, you know, almost 40 feet high. And I was walking into the quad, and it was early in the morning, and it was very foggy before school, and it was very odd, this big old pyramid of tables in the fog. I was kind of tripping out for a second.
All right, well, thank you for being on our interview.
Hey, thank you.
Up next, we have Mr. Narwaza. So, hi, Mr. Narwaza.
Hello. What colleges did you attend?
Quite a few. UC Riverside, Cal Berkeley, Cal State Fullerton, and Cal Poly San Luis.
What did you
I'm sorry,
study?
Cal Poly Pomona. My father went to Cal Poly San Luis.
Oh, okay. What did you study at these colleges?
Physics, history, computer science, astrophysics, and then teaching strategies for teaching other teachers.
Oh, okay. What are your majors?
Physics.
Physics?
Yeah, physics. Astrophysics is my minor.
Okay. Did you always want to be a teacher?
No. I did work with radio telescopes in the 1980s, and the funding ran out in like 84 when I was up in Northern California. And at that time, there was a need for science teachers in the public high school system. There was something called the Carnegie Commission Report, and I read it, and I thought, well, I can contribute a couple years. And then when the funding comes back, because all the money was going into what they call high energy, you might remember this is the famous Star Wars speech of President Reagan, so a lot of money was being diverted into what they call high energy research, and there was not a lot of money for space. And so I didn't want to get into high energy, so I decided to teach for a little bit. When space came back, I'd come back, but I got the bug, and it's been over 32 years.
That's pretty interesting. So do you enjoy physics or chemistry more?
Because my background is in physics, that's where my passion lies. But I think chemistry is such a good foundational class in teaching some skills and how to be prepared for college that if there is a difference in my enthusiasm, it's slight.
Okay.
But physics does have some more exciting topics to me.
What is your biggest accomplishment?
Haven't done it
You haven't done it yet?
No.
Would
No.
you like to let us know your goal?
yet. Don't know.
Don't know?
So far, I think just being able to still care after many decades.
Okay, well here's a little more random one. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Pumpkin pie or just pumpkin? It came out in 1978, I believe, Baskin Robbins. It came out in October. Before that, there was a Transylvania twist, which I kind of liked, but pumpkin is the awesomest. You have it with hot fudge, and you can make it as milkshake as well. But you gotta add the hot fudge.
How many countries have you been to? And what are they?
I could not count them at this time. But throughout North Africa, Middle East, Southern Europe, I was in Mexico just for a little bit. But my travels have mainly taken me to the Middle East, North Africa, and Southern Europe.
Okay, and if there's a place that you have not been to yet, what would it be?
You know, most people have a bucket list. I'm grateful. If I go, I've done most everything I want to do. A country that I would like to go to that I have not gone to. I'd like to go to Antarctica, but I don't think I'll ever be able to swim financially.
Okay, if you can meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
What do you mean, meet just to say hello or hang out? There's a difference. I'd have a different answer.
Okay, well let's go with both. If you would just like to say hello, who would it be?
Abraham Lincoln.
Who would you like to hang out with?
Christ.
Nice. Okay. What's the reason for just saying hi to Abraham Lincoln?
Because I could only hang with one person based on your question. Otherwise, if it was a secondary question. Because he had to overcome so many hardships, and he suffered with great loss in his life. And yet he did not take his personal setbacks so hard that he was unable to function. He held our country together in a way that I think nobody else could have at that time. And every fiber in him probably said, let's get out of this, I don't need this, I don't want it. And yet he stayed. And without him, our country would not have survived, in my opinion, it would not have survived this war. So to me, Abraham Lincoln is the most amazing man, let alone American. So I would love to just be in his presence, gather just wisdom from him.
And why hang out with Jesus Christ?
Because I want to be better in my life. I want to learn how he was. And that's my walk now. I've done many things in my life, especially with faith, with religion. And my journey, I've always wanted to know about Christ, and I've always kind of danced at a distance from him. And as I get older now, and as my children are growing up, my grandchildren are growing up, I feel that I've missed it, that I still don't get it. And it's easy to intellectualize things, but just to be with him. And actually, as a person of faith, I mean, I do believe he is with me, and I believe that I have gathered his wisdom. You know, I can acquire it because it's written. But there'd be something different about seeing him and just being with him that I would covet. So.
Okay, and then so for our last one, what is the strangest thing you've seen around school? Or any of your years of teaching?
Again, that is very, I've seen a lot of strange things at Altamont. Strangest thing I've seen on campus. Well, there are humorous ones and sad ones. Let's keep the humorous one. I dislike clowns very much. And there was one year where I had about 20 students dress up as clowns and invade my classroom. I did not care for that. And there was also many years ago when I was significantly more overweight than I am even now, where there was a Mr. D dress-up day, where a lot of people, teachers, would stuff their shirts and wear clown hair to match my red hair. And so that was disconcerting and strange. So those are
That's pretty strange. All right, well, I guess that's pretty much it for our questions for you. Thank you for being part of our interview.
Sure. Thank you guys for coming out and taking your lunch.
Thank you. And of course, we saved the best for last. Here's Mr. Cronin. Okay, so the first question, just what college or colleges did you attend?
Out of high school, I went to Cal State Fullerton, and that was back in the late 1970s, where I majored in journalism. I went there for 4 years. And then when I decided to become a teacher, I went to the University of Laverne to pursue my teaching credential and became a teacher. And then about 15 years later, I decided to go back and get my master's degree. I went to the University of Laverne, where I got my master's in organizational leadership.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been principal here at Altamont?
7 years.
7 years. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how excited are you about your new position?
Well, I'm very excited about it. It's kind of bittersweet because I've been here a long time and I'm really vested in the school and its success and all the people here. So I'll miss the school and I'll miss the daily interaction with students because my new job is based at the district office, and so my contact with students is far, far less. But what excites me is it's more of a global position that looks at what we're doing as a district at all of our high schools in terms of planning instruction and professional development and implementation of technology, and those are things I'm really interested in. So I'm excited, but kind of sad at the same time, I guess.
That's cool. So what's your favorite thing about Altamont? Would it be the students, the interaction type thing?
Definitely the students. I've worked at 4 high schools in my 30-year career, and I feel like the students here have been just really warm and kind and accepting and tolerant of each other and really cooperative and just eager to do their best. So it's been a really neat group of kids to work with.
What's one thing that you're going to miss the most?
Probably just a lot of the extracurricular things like going to games, and I can still do that in my new position at all the different schools, but just watching the students succeed in all of their pursuits, going to games, seeing a group of kids start their freshman year and develop over 4 years and have a plan after high school, like you going to Sacramento State, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And just watching kids come in as little freshman at 14 and graduating into young men and women with a good plan and well educated and ready to move on out into the world.
And then, for the last question, what would be your favorite subject in school?
Well, I taught English for 20 years before I was an administrator, so I'd have to say that English was my favorite subject.
Why is that?
I like to write and read and, research. I really love to do research on current topics, especially as they pertain to education, and share that with our staff and students. And that's really where my interest lies and what I'm suited for, what my skills are. Not the best math student, although I did fine in math.
Alrighty, well, I think that's about it.
Okay,
We
great.
will miss you.
Thank you.
So, thank you for being in our interview.
You bet, you bet.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching.